Hello, guys, and welcome to the track reveal and team show that we usually do between me and Bio. Now, if you can only see me on the corner, left hand corner there of the image, it's because it's only my camera that works because Bio's funding has all gone into his new team. But he is on the line with
I'm
me.
using somebody else's funds. How's it cute?
Hey, how's it going, Bio?
I'm using last season's champions money here, Chana.
Nice, man. It's good to have you with me. It's a pity that we can't see your stubbly face like we did last time, but sometimes
Thank God for
technical.
that.
Yeah, we should have had with us on the call. We should have had Kernow, but we he's probably doing some technical stuff or most probably looking up Sharon Stone's skirt
I'm a
to see.
shitter.
Yeah, he's probably looking at. It's not as glamorous as Sharon Stone's shitter. I think it's probably some old lady shitter. Oh, we are dirty buggers. Okay. Well, let's get on with it. Instead of screwing around too much. So just a couple of quick words, really, about what happened last season. Oh, actually, no.
Yeah,
Let's talk first of all about the rules for season three.
yeah.
So with this bio, it was only the times that are changing, really, the starting time to give us a bit more time to deal with the term with the XIRL league with the change of
Yes,
format, right?
ob- yeah, obviously they've gone over to 50% now. So just to give us that bit more time just to change between the two now on a Sunday evening.
Yeah. So just give. Hopefully, all the races finish in good time. But I think obviously it's going to be key to start things quite on time to try and get
Yeah,
everything rolling. You know. Obviously, this
exactly.
season for XIF1, the big change is going zero traction.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. A few of us are risking big bucks, and I know Mr. Sofa is really keen to try it, but he's very concerned that he's going to be in the rear with the gear.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are going to be packing a few extra front wings in for the weekend races now.
Yeah, definitely. De-
Yes. Yeah,
especially if it's going to be a wet race. I think it's really difficult to stick with it. For
yeah,
fifty
yeah.
percent race.
We've obviously had a few practice runs over the last couple of weeks now. A lot of the guys have been practicing with the with zero traction. So we've had a couple of races where it has been raining. Everyone seems like they've been handling it pretty well and been putting in the practice. So it's great to see, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The consistency is a tough thing to deal with. I guess you just have to slow down a little bit and accept the fact that you're not going to be so fast. And then the big thing is obviously your tires. When your tires go off on zero traction, you can definitely feel the difference. When this is
Yeah,
time to go. Get some new tires
fit.
in. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Um,
Absolutely.
Couple of big changes there. I've highlighted them in red just to make people aware of. In season 3, we are going to allow reserves to score points as long as the member that the reserve is driving for checked out. So if you want, and we're going to let them score half points. So if you want to score points for your team, but you obviously can't make a race, you better make sure that you check out because obviously then you get at least 50% of any points that your reserve
For your
can
team.
get. Yeah, exactly. Um,
Absolutely. Perfect.
and then the big thing is if you don't do check in, whether you're checking in or checking out, the next race is going to be a quali ban. And if you do two no shows without any reason, you will unfortunately be banned from the league. As long as people are aware of that, I think we shouldn't have issues with anything like that. So, but it's just something to be aware of.
Fair enough.
Uh, so let's go into the team's overview. How did people do last season? Obviously, Bloodshed taking the honours there. I don't know if you want to begin at one end or another end, or if you want to grab a couple of names that you want to talk about there. Maybe talk about Tom and Luca, that's now gone to RL. But how did they get on in the season?
Yeah, well, I mean, Tom and Luca, obviously, they started with us in the second season, and both of them obviously finishing up in the top 10. Luca in eighth, and obviously Tom up in sixth. And yeah, both of them had a great showing. Both of them two DNSs in Japan, one DNS in USA. So for them to finish still up there means that they had a good showing throughout the entire season. To be fair,
Yeah,
so obviously as a team, they finished off in third, which shows that yeah they were both quite consistent throughout the season.
yeah.
Sad to lose them, to be fair,
It is a shame to lose
but
them,
yeah,
but what we've done this season is we have basically kept their place. We haven't recruited new, and we've basically saved spaces for drivers that might want to, after season three, if they want to come up to, well, not come up, but if they want to take on a different challenge and drive zero traction, and maybe we'll keep the RL league. Um, it's quite enough to contend with different car performance, but to also
yeah,
then contend with zero traction in that league, I think would be too much of a challenge. So the best thing to do is we keep that league on sort of like medium assist wise, and then the fantasy league we kind of constantly progress and see where that leads us, and then of course people can slot in because this season we've only got 9 teams um, racing in season three. Anybody else here that you want to have a chat about performance wise?
yeah. I mean, like for me, probably the standout person for the season was Spivey. For me, I think he's become the most consistent throughout the second part of the season, having some great finishes, two podiums there, a third in China and a third in Australia. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think he's one to watch next season.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he when he started racing with us in season one, he was sold on zero DC, and I think he didn't use brake any kind of ABS as well. Um, So he's one of those characters like Ellis as well. That want to have that true, I guess, racing, that feel of being in control of all aspects of the car. The fact that the car is on the edge, or that you might be able to lose the edge really soon. And I think I guess the same is for guys like Kernow, Bloodshed. Those guys have all had the experience of driving without traction for a while. Spivey changed,
Yeah,
I think, maybe midway through season two back to have medium traction control, just to have a little bit more consistency. And while everybody else is doing it around you, it just feels like you put yourself at a major disadvantage at times. So
and risk.
yeah, so I think with everybody else now being also on the same level, you are right. I think he's definitely one to watch, but maybe we're giving him commentator's curse.
No,
Yeah,
we're not commentating yet.
yeah, we're not commentating just
No,
yet.
no,
In
no, no.
terms
This
of
is just
the
a reveal. This is just a reveal.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, I think for me, Xenox having carried Miguel F1 team, um, because Miguel was himself unavailable to race for quite a few days, having been caught in that Brazilian Hooters, where he was tied down with the.
Scandal.
So he was unable to escape for several days. And I also hear that Xenox's back surgery went really well, so he's ready to go. Okay.
Good, good, good to hear.
So, shall we move on and let's talk about the first team that we're going to introduce? So, we're going to introduce the teams based on the way that they registered, so in reverse order. The last team to
Really?
register was Zotil Baraka Motors. Just a little bit of background about Zotil himself. He found his love in motorsport by watching the guys do the spinning in South Africa. They've got like a area and then they just do donuts basically. You've seen a video of that recently. I
Yeah,
think Millie shared
I've
it.
just yeah, I've just been introduced to it. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, it's a good thing that something like that can spur someone's love for motorsport.
Yeah, he says he watched the BMW 325i's. He calls it the legendary Gusheshe. It must be like a local term. And then the VW VR6 that he watched spinning in the sandy streets back home. He says his hero
Really?
is Ayrton Senna, and this season he has tied in with him, obviously, for the third time in a row now, Alice. So those guys have formed a really good partnership. Their aim is to finish better this season than they did in season two. So maybe you want to give us a bit of stats about where they finished and how they did through the season, while we look at their livery.
Yeah, I mean, obviously ZBM drivers Zotil and Ellis, they're both pretty quick, to be fair. Unfortunately, the consistency hasn't been there. A couple of DNSs, a couple of DNFs between the two of them. Obviously, ended them in eighth place
Mm.
in the constructors.
I think they did.
Zotil started off well.
I think they did better in season one, if I remember correctly. I think, and even if they started a little bit late, Ellis joined like two or three races into season one, and Zotile had been with us, having raced with us in Hibernia before that as well, a couple of times.
Yeah,
But I have to say
yeah,
about Ellis especially, I thoroughly enjoy racing against Ellis myself because he's always clean and very kind of respectful racing wise. You know, he does his own race, and it's not like he's kind of
that's it.
pushing or aggressive or anything like that.
No.
If the opportunity is there, he'll take the opportunity ahead of him. But he won't kind of ram you off the road and take it. So I thoroughly enjoy racing against guys like that.
Yeah, I mean, his best finish was obviously the season opener, which was in Japan.
Mm,
I mean, he came second to Miguel, so that's saying a lot about a guy, and especially with somebody who drives with zero assists,
mm,
you know. Like you say, this guy's putting himself on the edge, not knife's edge, every single race,
yeah,
being in that situation, and really proven himself very consistent over the season.
agreed. Yeah, agreed. Um, okay, so let's move on to now. This is basically a new team because obviously, as you've seen throughout the news reports recently, that Miguel F1 had lots of financial trouble, and then of course Xenox having kind of carried that team decided that he's going to start his own team, hoping to maybe buy Paddy Wagon. And then things kind of went a little bit awkward. Both teams basically just had one car to race with, and then they realized actually they're going to have to put it together. So rumor is that they went to Hernia Bucklebones and they spoke to Bucklebones and they said to him, "Look, we want to compete as one car teams." And Bucklebones said, "No, combine the team together for this season and then go on from there next season and see what happens if we get more drivers in." So this is their car, or this is one half of their car. There we go. This is the Xenox half of the car. So these guys are going to drive in. Xenox is going to drive in this car here, the TH1, I believe it is. Both Miguel and Xenox competed No, actually, in season one when they competed, was Miguel with another driver. He was with Smacho,
Yeah, he was
and they were
Smacher, I
constructor.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they won the
They
constructor
won it.
champions. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they had the most fastest laps I think that season as well. Mainly Miguel. Miguel was on fire that season. 13
absolutely.
podiums. In season two, they had 5 podiums together. So looking good. And to show you what their combined livery looks like, so the back part of the car is Miguel's car, and the front part of the livery is Xenox's car. So combined together, they form Tumbleweed Machos Nachos. Wonder if you've got a couple of stats for us about where they finished.
Well, obviously, this was a team that was kind of thrown together, at the end of season one, at the beginning of season two, and unfortunately, with Miguel not being able to complete a few of the races due to financial difficulties, this team suffered quite a bit and obviously ended up ninth in the constructors. So yeah, like you said earlier on, Xenox kind of had to carry this team a little bit, which didn't help. But I think with Miguel coming back now, I think that's going to be a much different story. I think these guys are going to be knocking on the door for that top spot in the constructors. To be fair,
Definitely gonna heat up
as we know,
that top.
Miguel's lightning fast. Yeah, and Xenox obviously he's improved a hell of a lot as well,
Mm,
and him having to carry the team last season, I think that's gonna put them in good stead for the season to come.
yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I think it's 100% spot on there, mate. Okay, so let's move on to the third team. Very familiar team. They were strong in the constructors. They had one fastest lap last season. Kernau finished fourth. Chums finished 10th. Stigmaster altogether as a team they finished sixth. 7 podium finishes, and this is Stigmaster, their new livery, as you can see, Bio. What do you reckon?
Oh wow, looks pretty awesome. I think
Tidy,
I
isn't
really
it?
like it a lot.
Yeah,
Very
yeah. I like
nice and bright.
the kind of that blue, that bluish. It almost looks like a fin, you know,
Yeah,
that greenish kind of diagonal
yeah,
stripes
the
there.
the greeny purple then blue.
Yeah,
It looks really cool, man.
looking good, Stigmaster. I don't know if there's any stats that you want to grab out of the standings at all. If you want to chat any more about that, happy to move on. If
Yeah, I mean, this team were flying in the constructors at one stage. Unfortunately for the last two races, Bernal wasn't able to make it. I think he was having a few technical issues. But yeah, that obviously dropped them down 4 places.
yeah,
From second down into to sixth
mm,
over those last couple of races. So for them, they were almost knocking on the door for being the constructors, and that unfortunately let them down. A couple of DNFs by Chums, but yeah, I mean these guys, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven podiums between the two of
mm,
them.
mm,
Um, it's three first places for Kernow, one first place for Chums. So yeah, these guys have got it in their locker to be there
yeah,
and be there in the top spot.
that's right.
If they can prove their consistency throughout the season, I think yeah, they'll also be there and thereabouts again.
Mm-hmm. Let's have a look on to the next team. 4 wins, 6 podiums, including a first at China for our man Spivey. 4 fastest laps, P5 in the constructors, a massive improvement from season one. and of course several Mac attack cruise missile engagements. Lightning F1.
Appropriately named.
Yeah, I like the green and black. So that looks really cool car.
Yeah, it's slightly different to last season's. I quite like it, to be fair. I mean,
Yeah,
like I've always liked green's one of my favorite colors, I think.
yeah.
So
At
yeah,
least we'll be able to see
it's
Mac
nice.
when he's staring down on us now. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to, let's see. Yeah, next one is these guys. They were. Um, have I said this already? It feels like I've said this, or no? Actually, it's maybe in an earlier chat that we had. But these guys, season one, they were third place in the constructors. Season two, they were second place, and season three, they aim to be number one. It is the Sandbaggers.
Sandbaggers. Wow, look at that livery.
Pretty
Nice and
nice.
bright. What's that? The hundred francs?
It looks like I think this is the 50 francs. I'm not sure if it's the 100 francs. Yeah, yeah, it looks nice. I think this is the beginning of that story that came out with the pink highlighter going missing. I wonder if these guys had a hand in it. It kind of looks. It looks like they were involved some way or another, or maybe got hold of some pink paint somewhere. But yeah, that seems to be as we'll see now as we go through. It seems to be a kind of a common uh, trend, you know. But yeah, these guys
I think
also
so.
very good pantry and boots, nice and tidy drivers, really good
Yep,
guys.
consistent.
It'll be interesting to
Yep.
see whether Boots now with zero traction, but he's used to it because I don't know if you remember. I think maybe one of the first or two races. I always bring this up, and I think he hates me for it. But and I've done this myself. But starting off the grid, zero traction, pulls away, whack
Into the wall.
into the wall. So that's
Take 5 people out.
yeah. So that, I mean, that's one of my favorite moves as well. It used to be. So I have sympathy with him. I'm sure he'll be better at it this
He-
season coming now that
Heavy foot
everybody's
on
on
the
it.
throttle when you're feeling the pressure or what?
Yeah, yeah. So next up,
It's like lead in your foot.
lead in the foot. Yeah, it's a little bit of
Yeah.
adrenaline as the lights start going out. So next up, um, this billionaire's son. He's had a team in XIF1 since the inception of the format. One of the first teams to register in previous years. MacGyver Autosport has been instrumental in building the format and regulations from the ground up. Apparently, he's working off his father's approach of improvisation and imagination. And the Masturbate car was originally held together with duct tape, spit, and paper clips. Though with the new Masticate model, the weight has been removed from the chassis and now placed inside the drivers. That's going to save them a few pounds, I guess. The car itself can still be used as a multi-tool, but several previously independent functions have integrated into racing functionality. Things thanks to composite advances. Screwdriver now becomes screw DRS. Bottle opener is now bottle open ERS. And the throttle itself has a blade underneath to cut biltong. It is a multi-purpose racing machine befitting of the MacGyver name. Ladies and gentlemen, MacGyver
Yeah,
Autosport.
boy.
Yeah, boy. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, these
Yeah, boy.
these boys. I'm not gonna say too much more. I think that intro kind of summed it all up for them. They are aiming to. I think Mr. S. Obviously, with the S name, people think that it stands for Mr. Smooth, Mr. Sax.
Smooth.
Some say it's Mr. Seven, because this team was now two times in a row seventh on the ladder.
Constructors.
Yeah, so I think to
Yep.
prove everybody wrong, they'll probably be aiming for eighth spot this season. So I think that's
Wow.
what they're aiming for. Yeah. So still keeping the yellow
Yeah.
there. Just slightly
Nice.
like added a little bit of green to
Bit
it
more
by the
black
looks
in
of it.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice one. Let's go on to the penultimate team. I think no, there's three more teams left. Bio. This one
Yeah.
apparently Wonga looked out of his 24-bedroom country mansion and decided it was time to make an F1 team. He sold his mansion and moved into a wardrobe to put all his money into the team. Signed Van, the top earner, on OnlyFans for 3 years running in a 28 million 5-year deal. So this is the third of their 5 years, I guess. Wonga still lives in the wardrobe, but Van has three luxury properties all over the world. Let's see. Oh God. Okay, so you can see who was involved with robbing that highlighter factory now.
Gee, whiskers.
What do you reckon?
Okay. I don't. I think we'll have to take this video down, man. Stabilo are gonna come after them.
Stabilo might come and find them, won't they? I think so as well. Yeah. Well, this is interesting. It's a very big change from what did they have? White
Oh,
and
so it's like
black
a white
before.
with a
Yeah,
black,
yeah.
yeah, like a blacky grey almost,
So I think they feel a
Yeah, it
bit
was.
flash now, huh?
Yeah, it's almost. It reminds me of the, Racing Point pink
The
Mercedes.
pink Mercedes. Yeah, you think they've got big aspirations. So I think Wonga is the champion of the constructors, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
Wonder's
Yeah.
elite. Yeah, I mean they nicked it right at the end there, and it was so close. It was 5 points between them and Sandbaggers.
That's right.
So, geez, yeah, they just nipped it at the end there. To be fair.
And how have these guys been doing throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of podiums there for Wonga. He got a second in Canada, got a second in Spain, couple of seconds also for Van, one in Britain, one in Bahrain. So yeah, these guys have got the pace. We'll see now how they deal with going over to zero traction. But I think we've had a few races, and they seem pretty confident, and they've got the pace still,
Yeah.
which is nice to see. So yeah, I mean, they'll definitely be wanting to defend their title. I believe there's a lot of Milo bars involved in that.
Well, good stuff. Yeah, I quite like the pink. It's going to be easy to spot them on track as well. It's quite
Yeah,
nice, very,
nobody'll be able to miss them, bro.
yeah. Okay, so the next team, basically, also a little bit of a change in this team because they previously were Freedom Motorsports with Zach. Zach, the American owner, has pulled the plug on funding and now invested in an NHL team, I believe. So he left Bio and the team in search of some much needed funding and a second driver as well. Months of searching through XIF1 and XIT2, and after a hefty interview process, Bio found the one man who is going to change it all around. We've got young gun and former world champion of XIT2, Nando's, also known as KD, and he joins the ranks with his Portuguese money and sponsors. And they've decided to rebrand the outfit, calling it AP Alliance Racing, Biohazard, and KD. And this is the £100 franc note that I was talking about.
Uh, yeah, I think Sandbaggers, and us, obviously we went to the same spray booth.
Yeah, it looks.
Um, these guys definitely sold us on this one. So yeah, they've obviously saved some money, and
Just copied
and
yours.
obviously pocketed some from us. Yeah.
And then of course those guys sandbaggers, they are known to be a little bit on the cheapskate side. So what they would have probably done
Yeah.
is they discussed your livery or with your designer, obviously, not kind of knocked a couple of pounds off of that, and then went to Wonga Fleet Elite to see what was left over from that Stabilo heist.
From the Stabilo factory
Yeah.
heist.
And applied some of the pink to their own car. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we'll see quite a lot out of KD. It's interesting to see him now join the zero traction control championship. And yeah, be interesting to see how he gets on.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously in the T2, he's obviously run without traction, and I mean, this guy, he had what, 4 out of the 5 races, or 5 out of the 6 races, he was on the top of the podium, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see him now in the mix with these guys. Obviously, um, obviously it'll be nice to see him up there and challenging. I mean, like obviously our hopes are to kind of be top 5. That's where we're aiming for, to be fair.
Well,
So
from where you guys finished, or
fingers
from
crossed.
where Freedom Motorsport finished, there's only one way, and that's improving, right? It's
Yeah,
only because I think you guys were on the bottom step. With
yeah,
Zach not being able
unfortunately,
to make so many races, so there's only one way to go now. It's going up. It's really good.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, so finally, I think it comes to our last team. I hope I haven't missed anybody out, but I believe this is it.
I don't think so.
So, Wonga, we've got AP, we've got these guys, known as the Flying Nudgeman.
TRH.
Yeah, here he is, the Flying Nudgeman himself, according to his teammate who wrote the bio for their team. He says in 2019 the team was back under the name Team Racing Holland with new drivers Remco and Patrick, and this is their new livery.
Oh wow, I like it. I like that blue that they've added and a bit of white now.
Yeah, it looks almost like the McLaren racing suits from last year. It's beautiful. I like it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think we're going to see much of this team because obviously Remco is at the moment almost in a league of his own. I think what we should do for the league is we should basically count everybody from P2 downwards, and then we have like a Formula 1.5, and he's Formula 1, Formula 1.5 for us. But the guy is at the moment just in another league, he's consistent, he's fast. Um, I kind of, I don't want to hedge my bets, but I think it's going to take a lot from the rest of us to try and get ahead of him this season.
Well, I mean, out of the nine races, I mean, out of all the races, none of them were podiums. He's
Yeah.
had two second places, 4 first place. Sorry, 3 second places, 4 first places, and 2 thirds.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, this guy, as you say, super consistent, super fast. Um, and then obviously his teammate Patrick. Obviously, he was hoping to finish a little bit better than he did. He had a few DNFs, which obviously let him down a bit. But yeah, if he can, get that consistency up, then yeah, definitely this is a team
Yeah.
to watch, really.
And the interesting thing with Patrick is he is much better at the 50% longer distance race than technically what he is with the 25%ers for whatever reason. It just seems to suit him so much better the 50%.
Yeah, I mean, one highlight of last season for me was that race at Brazil.
Mm.
I mean, geez, that guy was just phenomenal, wasn't
Oh
he?
yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
That was in the
he
fifty
he
percent
he
race, right?
just yeah, that's what I'm saying. In
Yeah,
the 50s,
yeah,
he was just absolutely phenomenal. He just blew everyone away with his overtakes, didn't he?
yeah, yeah. No, he was on fire.
Um, yeah. So I mean, like if he can, prove that on let's say 50% of the tracks that he races, I think we're in for a pretty good season from him.
Mm, mm, mm. Is this the same livery design as the as AP and Sandbaggers, just with different colors, or is it a completely different design? It
No,
looks
it
like it's
looks
got
slightly different,
metallic.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's got metallic colors in. It's so cool.
Yeah. Is it
Really nice.
slightly? I think it's slightly different to the other two.
Mm. Yeah, I think so as well. Okay, well that's the teams then. 9 teams. A little bit of more space on track, considering that we're going to zero traction. I think that might be a good thing. Hopefully, with the fifth changing to the 50%, the gaps are not too big. Um, but yeah, it's going to be interesting, I reckon.
Yeah, I also think us changing over to the 18-minute quali is also going to help out a lot.
Yeah, that
Um,
with the
it'll give you
first incidents. Yeah,
yeah, it'll just give you that chance to get used to the track, see where the traction zones are, etc., etc.
yeah. Okay, Bio. Shall we get on with getting the
Yeah, boy.
track list announced? Let's see.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so obviously I've taken the only track that I've taken off here is Vietnam.
Why?
Okay, here we go. Let's go.
Apparently, Remco loves Vietnam.
Does he now? Oh,
Is that
first
is
up.
that why we take it off? Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Hungary's awesome, man.
Oh, that clap is really loud. I don't know if it comes through loud for you as well, but it sounds so loud.
No, not really. Not
Thank
really
God
on
for
my
that.
side.
Yeah, hopefully people aren't being deafened by the noise of Hungary being announced. But that's Hungary. That's track 1. Cool. Let's go. Track 2. We're doing 11 tracks, right?
That's it.
Oh yes. Right, this is the second
Japan.
time that Japan is second.
No,
Japan.
it was first last time. I'm sure.
Say again. Sorry, I missed you.
I'm sure Japan was first last time.
You think it was first?
First on the track list. Yeah, yeah.
Third up
Don't
is.
know actually.
Oh,
Yes, it was.
Bahrain.
Nice. Good start there. Yes, Japan was the first race of last season.
Was it the first race? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take Bahrain off. So that's 3. Let's go for number 4. This all seems so familiar. I've got to take that off every time that they clap. It was just so noisy. Remove.
Crazy.
Italy. Alright, here we go. Track number 5.
Oh boy.
Baku. It's gonna be Baku. Well, you guys just finished the race in Baku, and that was not as attritional as I thought it was gonna be, eh? That 50% race. I definitely thought that there was going to be a lot more incidents, and there wasn't even one incident for Bot Stewart.
No.
Let's go. Track number 6. Belgium.
Go. Yes.
Always good race. Belgium. Last one. Oh no, that's his track 7, isn't it? It's not the last one. China wet. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Track number 8. Monaco.
Oh, finally. Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Well, that's cool. That's about we've never had that, have we?
No, we've never
This will
had
be our
that.
first.
In a 50% race as well. I think this is going to be epic. This is going to be epic.
That's going to be good.
Unless loads of people are going to suddenly have tummy bugs on that day. Okay, that's Monaco. I think we've got one more left. I'm not sure.
No.
I'll double check now. I think 1 or 2.
Just double check. I think we're on 9 or 10.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, I hate this track. God damn it. Wish it was Netherlands.
Well, I mean, I don't know. At least USA, you've got opportunity to overtake and stuff. With Netherlands, it's a bit more difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tough. I mean, just double check what the situation is there. We've got 9 results so far, so let's go back.
So.
9. This is number 10.
10.
Oh, here we go. Netherlands. I can hear those Dutch boys from here.
Absolutely.
they're going to be very happy. Track 10
Pat,
is
yeah,
Holland.
Pat and Remco are gonna love that.
Yeah.
The penultimate race.
Last one now. Season decider. Where will it be? Oh, it's the car park.
France.
Wow.
Yes. All right.
That's cool. Okay. And now, just
Awesome.
one more track, and this is going to be the track, the test track that we drive on this coming
On
Sunday.
Sunday. Cool.
Canada is our test track.
Canada.
Okay, so let's look at those
Awesome.
results there. We've got Hungary, Japan, Bahrain, Italy, Baku, Belgium, China, Monaco, USA, Netherlands, and France. And then Canada is going to be our test track. I'm just going to copy those
That's
guys.
awesome. There's three long races there in a row. Italy, Azerbaijan, and Belgium.
Yeah, yeah.
So they straight line speed's going to be very important there, isn't it?
I'm just going to copy that so that I don't forget who it was. And that's it. Track list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. France, ending in France. Starting in Hungary, ending in France. We've got Monaco in there, which is interesting. We've got Netherlands in there for the Dutch boys. It's a shame that Britain isn't in. I love racing in Britain.
Yeah, me too.
But that's it.
I think
mean,
we've added 2 seasons in a row. So, and Australia, we've also had 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah,
We've
exactly.
Mexico seems like one that we never get round to.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think we had it once only. Maybe did we have one in the 50?
I think that was in Hibs, eh?
Yeah, yeah, probably. I do remember having one race there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite race in the whole world.
No.
That one. Looking forward to Monaco though. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
All right.
I think so too.
Happy days, mate. Thank you very much for joining me again.
Awesome.
It's always good to have
Great
a chat.
reveal. All the cars look awesome.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to the tracks we've that have been chosen. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome season, man.
Really looking forward to the start of the XIRL league.
That as well.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. Interesting, a couple of interesting combinations there. Bit worried that a few guys may have been holding back a bit. Some guys got lucky maybe with other results that they've had previously. So it's going to just be, a bit of a balancing act, and we'll see how the season unfolds. And I think it should be a kind of a bit of a long-term project as well to see, where people finish and then maybe go up or go down. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And then obviously the raffle. I think the raffle we're going to finalize at the start of XIF1 season. So not this Sunday, the season afterwards. Maybe we'll do another like a draw like this as well, and then that is done as well. But we've had really good contributions from that. As always, we just want to say thank you to our sponsors, Narcissist Anonymous, and also if you've got any issues, if you've been affected by any issues that we discussed in this show, phone somebody who cares. All the best, guys. Thank you very much for joining Bio.
Thanks a lot.
We'll have a chat again.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.